You're welcome to LandPod. This is one thing that every web developer should know when working with HTML. In this lesson, we want to learn how to add attributes to HTML elements. Well, just as the English word attribute means characteristics. Remember the last time we worked on images, we had the src attribute. We also had the width attribute, the height attribute, and of course the title attribute. Now all these attributes are called, they are natural attributes. They are called default attribute or standard attribute. Why? Because they come with the package for image. They comes with the definition of the image tag. They are part of the specification of HTML. But you can also create your own attribute yourself, and those kind of attributes are called custom attributes. You could just say data equals to. So this one is your own custom attributes that you define by yourself. You could create another attribute called data minus href. This is just your own attribute as well. It's your own choice of attribute. It didn't come with a package. src is an attribute that comes with the package. Just saying this as a matter of revision. Width also comes, with the package for image height as well. Then height attribute. But the data href, this is a custom attribute, and the data itself is a custom attribute. Let's go on and then look at another type of attribute. For the p tag, I am a paragraph. So we've got style equals to. Now this style is an attribute, so you could give any element at all an attribute of style. It is a standard attribute. Okay, so in the style you could just say color red. That's fine. I think, okay, sorry, I closed it accidentally. So you say style color red, and then it's saved now, so we can just open in the browser. Okay, that's good. So I am a paragraph, the color is red, so which means this style attribute, which comes as a standard or default attribute, is something that we can actually use to change the style of an HTML element. Now how cool is that? Very, very cool, you would say. So we're taking off this image tag, and then we're coming on to another one and talking about table. For example, this is a tr and a td, that's cell 1, and then there is another td, and then I have cell 2. So let's create another table row, and td, that's cell 3, and then another td, so you have cell 4. Okay, good. Now here we have a table, so we can give this table attributes called bg color, let's say yellow. Now let's open it up in the browser. We'll click on refresh. Good. So the background of the table is yellow. We simply use this attribute to change the background color of the table. We have another attribute that we can give to the table, which is border equals to 1, and if we do that, the border changes. It gives it border of 1. We also have an attribute called the cell padding. Just give it maybe 10, that'll be fine, 10, and then we reload it, and that's the cell padding. Of course, so we can now see the difference between default attribute and default attribute, or also known as standard attribute, and custom attribute. This table, you could give it your own custom attribute as equals to data, another attribute as maybe just of course title doesn't actually affect the table. In this case, the title attribute would be a custom attribute. So if you had title, I'm not really sure that it would show anything when you take over it. Oh, it shows my table, so which means title is actually a, a standard or default attribute. But right here, this data is not it's not a standard attribute, rather it is a custom attribute. We could define another attribute to say maybe cells equals to 10. Now this doesn't affect the table, it is just a custom attribute. We defined it by ourselves. So this is the wonderful thing about using attributes. And later on in your course as a web developer, you will be using your custom attributes to save data just for use later on, because you'll be wondering what will now be the use of custom attribute. Well, later on in your career as a web developer, you get to know exactly how much useful they could be. So here is the end of our lessons on adding attributes to HTML elements.